Hello, Beaver fans, and welcome back to Meet the Beavers. It has been a while, and I'm certainly you guys have been wondering what the heck's been going on over at the Sports Information Office with the Meet the Beavers series. Well, we're back finally after, some scheduling and trying to sort things out with the other segments. We're finally back. Good to have you guys back here with us. I'm your host, Cole Clementich. And it certainly feels good to be back. And it's the holiday season. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Christmas season. Hopefully you guys have a good upcoming New Year. We'll certainly get into some chit-chat about that with our next guest on the series. But like I said last time, we are done with football season. We're now going to ring in the winter sports now. So we got wrestling, basketball, hockey, you name it. All of that good fun with the athletes here on Minot State University campus. It's going to be a great time. And folks, we're back with our new guest of the series. Why not? Let's get started, shall we? He's an Amarillo, Texas native in the 174-pound weight class on the men's wrestling team. Kale Farrington joins us. Kale, thanks for being here today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. We're glad to have you here, Kale. And I think this will be the last show we have before winter break, so we'll certainly try to make this one count as much as we can here, folks. But Kale, let's just talk first, how the season's going, from your perspective, and just kind of give us, an outlook on how the team's doing so far.
Well, I feel like the season's going pretty well. It's come off to a hot start. We've had 3 tournaments so far, and we've had one champion, I believe, or actually, I don't think we've had a champion of a tournament yet, but other than that, it's looking up. We've had a lot of good wrestling, a lot of good guys come in this year, a lot of good freshmen, actually. They're really working hard, and it looks like we're going to have a good program for the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah, and you guys have, there's been a lot of growth with this team, at least from what I've noticed. Seeing this team, grow into one of the more competitive squads in the NSIC. How cool has it been able to see all that go on over the past couple of years during your time?
It's been really cool, actually. When I came in as a freshman, I would say we weren't the best team on campus by any means, or best team in the NSIC for wrestling. But last year and this year, I can just see us growing exponentially. We've gotten a lot of guys come in, and a lot of people step up and start leading the team. It's been really cool. I'd say last year especially, we were ranked nationally, and that was a big step for us. We'd never been ranked at that point, and it just shows us that we can be a better team than we have been in the past.
Well, that's really cool, Kale, and certainly shows that you guys have the talent to compete with some of the top guns in the conference, and you guys you got some big wins under your belt too. I can recall one against St. Cloud. There's a big upset win against Mankato last year. And, just talk to us about that, being able to show out what you guys have been able to do with this program.
Honestly, those are some big wins, but there's an even bigger win. Brendan Barnes last year pinned Braden Huber from UMary, and that was
a good point, actually. Huh?
That was a way bigger win. If everybody knows, we don't like UMary very much, and that was a great win on the season for sure. Other than that, beating Northern State last year was big, especially in their home. We went to Northern State and whooped them. And that was pretty fun. That was cool to be a part of. I just think we're coming up. This year it's going to be a good dual season. We're going to have a lot of good duels here. We don't have to travel as far this year, so come out and support. It'll be fun.
Yeah, speaking of coming out and support, a couple of home matches. You guys have Parkside next week, I believe on Thursday at 7 p.m. But let's first talk about the 3rd annual Beaver Bash Duels. You guys welcomed Bismarck State and Northland Community Technical College. How did it go? From how all the guys did, and just a nice way to get the season underway in a nice fashion like that. Obviously you guys dominated, the series, but just tell us how good was it to start off that way, and especially in front of the home crowd.
It was awesome to start off that way. It's a confidence boost. It gives a lot of the younger guys confidence going out there and stuff. We didn't send out all of our starters, but it gives the younger guys experience. It just shows them what it's like to wrestle in a duel, and especially not a duel that has a lot of weight on it. It's something you can go out there and make a couple mistakes, but still pull out with a W, and that's what happened. I mean, it was really cool to watch younger guys get out there and wrestle, get their feet wet a little bit with the sport and with college wrestling. It was a big confidence boost for our team.
That's good to see that some of the young pups are being able to see the mats early and often in their careers. And I don't know if you noticed the women's duels. I think it was against Jamestown. Minot State actually had to come back, or actually held on for a victory against Jamestown. I don't know if you caught any of that, but how cool is it to be able, now that we have added the women's program, still fairly young team, still coming into their own, and now starting to establish themselves as an identity, as a program. How cool is it to be able to share that moment with them, to be able to have more for the fans to enjoy at the Dome now.
It's actually really cool. In high school, we had a women's team, and my men's team won state as well as their women's team, and that's just something that's cool, and we can see that with the women's team. They're getting better. They're bringing more girls in. It's cool to watch. It's cool to be a part of and support them as well as they've supported us.
No, that is good, certainly, and wishing them all the best this season, and for you guys as well. You are also, let's go back in time a little bit, the Super Region at the All Seasons Arena. That took place last year. Minot was selected as the host town. It was supposed to be at the Dome originally, but with all the complications with state basketball and other events happening, good thing that they were able to find a different place of competition, and that was at the All Seasons. Talk to us about that. How cool was it to see Minot get an opportunity to host one of the top tournaments around the region?
It was really cool. I mean, at first we were all kind of mad that it wasn't at the Dome, but then once we saw the All Seasons Arena set up with everything, all the banners and stuff, it was actually really cool. That's a cool place to have a tournament. It's big enough. There's enough bathrooms. That's a big thing for wrestling. Yeah. But it was cool to see that. It was also cool to see a lot of the community come out and support and watch us. I mean, I feel like sometimes at the duels we don't get that many people out there, but at regionals there's a lot more people from the Minot community out there supporting us. But as well, it was kind of a pain to set up. It was hard to move all our mats over there and stuff. Had to get some trailers and lift them.
Yeah, hauling all the mats, that had to have been an adventure, but certainly had to have been well worth it, because you don't ever get the chance to host a regional tournament like that. So, and the event was fun. That was probably the most engaged I've ever been in a wrestling tournament. It was a long 12 hours, but it was a worthwhile experience. I'm sure it was for you. Let's talk about some of your accomplishments. So we talked pre-show. You had the Panhandle International, or the Panhandle Nationals when you were a young age. I don't know if you recall much of that, but you also mentioned that you were state finalist in Texas. Tell us about some of that, and maybe even your recruiting trails to Minot State, how you got up here.
Well, yeah, I was a Texas State finalist in 5A for wrestling. Year before that I got 6th. But when I was a kid, I started wrestling when I was 6 years old, so I've been in the sport quite a while. I've won the Panhandle Nationals a couple times, actually, in the Amarillo Nationals before, but that was when I was young. Not that much credibility. As far as my recruiting process, I wasn't heavily recruited in high school, but I had a couple offers. My dad actually flew to Minot a lot, so he emailed Coach Forty and got me a visit, and so we came up here and visited, and I just fell in love with it.
Minot State connection with your dad. How did that come out to be, if I may ask?
So when I was younger, he was flying the CEO around for a construction company, and they came to Minot for a couple times, and he came to a couple duels and realized I might stay at a wrestling program. So when I was in the process of looking for a college, he was like, well, what about Minot State? And the rest is history.
The rest is history. That's awesome right there. And I think our previous guest had a connection with Minot State. So 2 in a row. It's really nice to see how things just pan out, really. So that's cool, awesome stuff, Kale. Let's get into the classroom now. You're a finance major. First off, just tell us about class. How are finals going, by the way? It is finals week, by the way, after all.
I'm actually not a finance major anymore.
Oh, you're not?
I'm a
it
data
changed.
science. Yeah.
Data science, okay. So
Yeah.
that's on me. I'll take fault for that, but no, just still talk to us about class and how finals have gone for you.
Well, I don't really have many finals. I have more projects that I have to do. They're going well. I've gotten one project in so far, and I'm working on my other one. But I have one final test, and it's kind of stressed me out a little bit. It's 2,000 points, but
Ooh,
yeah, it's a 2,000 point test. But I'm prepared. I'm getting there. I have faith that I'll ace it. So
I've had assignments that were maybe 500 points, 2,000. That's insane, man. That is crazy. There's
only
really
473 other points in the class.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, those. But hey, man, data science. How is it for you? How have you gotten to know the major? What have you learned through that so far?
I've learned that AI is taking over. I've learned that it can be useful and there's a lot of things it can do for you, but it can also be harmful to the whole world population, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
I've also learned that data science is in literally everything. Like, everything is data. Everything is broken down. Like, even if we don't break it down personally, other people are. Other people are looking at our data of everything. Sports data is big. It's just an all-encompassing major.
So picture me as a senior in high school. If you were in data science, could it help me with my stats homework?
Probably.
I was kidding, but hey, gotta try at one point. You never know.
Exactly.
I struggle with stats homework in my gen ed, so trust me, I'm not afraid to admit that there is a struggle. But data science is really interesting there, Kale. Yeah, nice, good stuff right there. And what are some things that you learn from the program? Obviously, you mentioned AI and how it's changing everything. Not to sound like a doomsday prepper or anything, but just tell us what things have you been able to take away and apply to daily life in data science?
One bad thing I'd say I take away is everything on my phone, all my data is being sold. So I'm a little more.
I may have made it worse now.
But other than that, I'd say it's opened my mind. I see things in life, like every day-to-day life, that I notice as data, like patterns and stuff like that, what people do. Say, for instance, like my girlfriend, she goes and gets coffee every day. That's data to me. That just shows you can take that and use it, but that's just something I've learned. Look at the patterns, look at what people do, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's fascinating what you're able to, find out, and a lot of great programs we have here around Minot State. So, and data science, that's very interesting there, Kale. Also, what do you like to do in your free time, whether it's on campus, at home, what have you?
I like to work out. I work out a lot anyways, gotta keep my weight down, but I feel like working out helps me, especially when it's cold outside. Helps clear the mind a little bit, not hate the cold as much. Also, I like hanging out with my roommates a lot. Even if it's just chilling on the couch, we'll sit there and have some crazy conversations and never gets boring. Other than that, I like to eat when I can. I like to go to the Starving Rooster or Ebenezer's. That's
good places.
Those are really good places. Excuse me. Other than that, I really don't really do much. I play some video games. I'm also, yeah, that's about it.
Yep, I used to play video games. Now I just do it, once, rarely, but, it's a lot of fun. I had my time growing up as a child, enjoying all the EA sports and, that just some of the training games like Fortnite and, what have you, Minecraft, of course, and yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about today, so, speaking of free time, when you usually, so fun fact, an FCA and a men's Bible study group on campus. We're both a part of that, Kale. So tell us about, how that has gone, and you just kind of tell the audience, what we get into, since you're also part of the crew.
Well, as far as FCA, that's been a thing that's new to Minot State this semester, which has been really cool. A guy named Carson Ulmer has really taken it and ran with it and got it started, and I'm very appreciative of that. I was part of FCA in high school, and it's cool to be a part of it at Minot State at the higher level. It's also really cool to see how many people come out and are in a walk with Christ, have faith in Him, and it's awesome to watch people grow day to day in their faith with Christ. As far as the Bible study or the men's group, what would you say? There's probably like 10 of us, just about.
Yeah, I think it may have grown to 11. We'll have to ask Carson, but this men's Bible study group.
Carson also runs that. He's a great leader. There's about 10 or 11 of us. Honestly, it's one of the highlights of my week when I can go. Unfortunately, I'm pretty busy sometimes, which makes it hard to go. But when I do go, it lasts a while. Honestly, some of the Bible studies I've been a part of last about 45 minutes to an hour. That one I love a lot because it's about 2 hours usually, and we'll sit there and talk about one topic for like 45 minutes. And I feel like I've learned a lot and grown in my faith with God, grown in my faith.
No, I've found a liking for this group, and I for a while, because I still go to church here in town at the Southside Nazarene, and for a while there was a group on campus, but then it dissolved, and for a year I was looking for something, and it turns out Carson came along with the CAC, the Christian Athletics Club, which then turned into the men's Bible study group, and then, like you said, the FCA. It's a fairly new addition to Minot State campus, right. And although it happens, the one meeting I went to happened off campus at the Pursuit Church. It's really cool to see a whole collective of Minot State athletes, all Beaver athletes, getting together that share the same beliefs, share the same aspirations, and it was cool to see. All the singing. Max, he was on the campus TV show yesterday, seeing him on the guitar and singing. Yep. Worshiping. It's really cool to see there, Kale. So very, very glad that good to have you in that group. Good to see you on a week-to-week basis with that. Certainly when you're around, obviously. But yeah, wrestling, like you said, can be busy. But it's cool to see these developments happening on campus. So anything else that you enjoy here at Minot State? Any other clubs or I guess things you like to do at Minot State?
MSU Life. They put on a lot of good events. Shout out to Emmett and Keela and everybody else on the MSU Life team. Y'all are cool. Y'all put on a lot of stuff. Jada. Shout out to Jada. Mm-hmm. Bingo is a highlight, I would say. I mean, it happens, 2 or 3 times a semester. That one's really fun. Yeah. I've been to a couple of events. It's hard to go sometimes because I'll be tired from practice and want to eat or something like that. But when I can go, I decide to. So that's a lot of fun. The Wellness Center, going in there playing pickleball. That's a lot of fun as well.
Pickleball's even a huge development as of late.
It is. Also, I play disc golf, so when the disc golf course is set up, I come and play a lot. That's a lot of fun.
No, disc golf seems to be a lot of fun. I still see, when it's nice out, of course, I see some people out using those once in a while. So it's a worthwhile addition for Minot State campus for the disc golf. I guess we call them holes, chains? Holes, okay. Yeah, so it's the same as regular golf. So yeah, they're good to see that those are being used still, Kale. And now let's talk, before we wrap things up here, Kale, just kind of talk some future goals and aspirations you have, whether on the wrestling team, on campus, in the classroom. Lay it on us.
I'd say future goals as far as wrestling would be win as many matches as I can, and to just be a good leader for the younger guys, show them the ropes, help them out as much as I can, help develop them. I just want to make great men. I don't care as much about wrestling, but I want to show them that there's life beyond wrestling and help them as much as I can. As far as school, straight A's. Trying to get straight A's. And as far as work outside of school, getting a job after I graduate, not quite there yet, I have a lot of options in mind, military maybe, I'm not really sure, but yep, the sky's the limit as far as data science, so.
Yep, sky is the limit. Well, whichever endeavor you take on, we certainly wish you the best of luck, Kale, and in your faith as well. So,
thank you.
Kale, thank you for being on Meet the Beavers today. Any final messages you want to relay to the fans or the viewers watching?
Come out and support men's wrestling and women's wrestling. We come out and support y'all. I think that's about it. Shout out Mr. Erisman if you see this. Butt my grade up.
Hey, this will certainly endorse your message and help them out here. But all that being said, Kale, I'd like to kind of thank you for being on the show today. And come out next Thursday, December 19th, 7 p.m. when the Beavers host Wisconsin Parkside, one of the top guns in the conference, and certainly kicking off the conference season for the Minot State Beavers. Kale, once again, thanks for being on today.
Thank you.
Beaver fans, you just heard Kale Farrington, Jr. from Amarillo, Texas, of the Minot State men's wrestling team, sharing us his stories, goals, and some really cool stories happening in and around campus. And of course, big shout out to everyone that he has mentioned as well. And that's it for us, Beaver fans. We just want to thank you all once again for tuning in live, or I guess pre-recorded. I got my broadcaster's voice still, in go mode, but I want to thank you guys again. This has been the last show, I think, for the 2024 fall semester. We'll be back following Christmas break, but we want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, safe travels if you're going out, and wishing all the best to the Beaver student athletes that have already returned back home or in the process of traveling. So wishing you guys all the best in that. And yeah, I think that's all we have. That's all she wrote. So thank you guys again. We'll see you all next time whenever that happens. Be on the lookout, certainly. MSU Beavers on YouTube. I've been your host, Cole Clementich, and we'll see you guys next time.